From Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. This is the Jersey Boys Sports Talk presented to you by the Sportscast. It is June the 2nd, 2022, and this is your host, Santiago Leon. I'm in for Victor. He is on assignment tonight. If you haven't yet, please subscribe in all our channels: YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Apple Podcasts. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please leave a rating and a review. It will help us out tremendously. You could also listen to us on your smart speaker. Go to your smart speaker and you can just say play Sportscast, and you'll listen to the Sportscast 24/7. Also, you could get our app, the Sportscast for iOS, and visit our website, thesportscast.net. Well, anyways, Victor's on assignment, but we got Mr. Aaron Jones. How you doing today?
Well, I'm just doing wonderful. I'm gonna go buy me a rowboat, probably in the next couple of minutes because it's flooding all over the place right here.
I can imagine. Yeah, both of us are going through weather situations. Today, it was raining throughout most of the late afternoon, early evening, which I was driving today, so it was tough to. Like, you have to drive slower. There's just no other way to do it. I mean, and it was raining for I guess nonstop for an hour and a half. And it's gonna be raining tomorrow and this weekend, and there's possibly a tropical storm coming a little bit north of us, so we won't be hit too bad. But it's still got prepared. It's hurricane season coming up. So, and you too are going through a storm today.
Yeah, because around here, it doesn't get like crazy. It's kind of weird that we went winter, summer. There was no spring. There was nothing in between. Next, went from freezing cold, and it's been in the 90s, 94, 95. That's hot, and it's humid, right? It's not like Florida or anything. It's sticky. Don't want to go outside. Got to put the air conditioner on 55, because it's that bad outside.
Yeah, same here. It's been in the lower 90s, I would say, for the past month. It was cool last month a bit in the mornings, but this past month in May and then June, it's been so hot, and it's kind of like, oh my gosh, humidity. You feel it at nighttime, even though you have the AC on, and it's just no way. The humidity still creeps in somewhere.
And then I have to go out because I deliver Meals on Wheels, during the day. And I'm out there delivering these seniors, knocking on the door, like, please hurry up and open your door because it's so hot standing out here. Yeah, it's been a little rough trying to deliver this food.
Yeah, it's for sure. Definitely stay hydrated, drink lots of water, and if you can stay inside, do so.
Can't stay inside. I got to go outside.
Well, anyways, what a week. This is a quiet part of the NFL, part of the year. Things kind of dip a bit. OTAs begin, mini camps begin, and news free agency. Almost everyone signed up by now. Everyone has their contracts straight out. Everyone has a team. And like the rosters are set. Now the rookies are coming in, meeting with the players at camps. And, a lot of these college players feels like they're, they have some momentum coming in. Like, feels like they've been training like this past spring. It feels like.
And then you got a lot of those guys, because they were talking about Treylon Burks, the receiver down in Tennessee. And they're talking about him that, he went from, going around visiting people, on the basically recruiting trail. And then when he got to Tennessee, now he has to kick into the training camp mode, which is different than when you're training for, the draft or whatever. So he's been, struggling a little bit down there too.
Exactly. And, positive things are happening. A lot of these rookies are doing well at camps. They have to go. I don't think some of the older seniors like Lamar Jackson is not going. Is he bluffing for a contract, Byron?
Well, he figured he's his own agent, which I'm sure a lot of people know. And I don't think he's one of those kind of guys that he's going to hold out forever, because he just seems like the kind of guy that's want to be with his guys and not let this whole contract thing, affect, what's going on in the field or what's going on in the team. So eventually, sign, but it'd probably be a lot better if he had an agent to worry about it. But he's going to worry about playing football and worried about getting his money.
I agree about the agent part. I think having an agent that's focused on these contracts, focusing on getting offers, is better. It's more productive than just you being an agent. But you're working out half the time. When do you have time to speak to owners?
Well, I'm sure he has the owner's. He probably has the owner's number on speed dial. But Shoddy, I think his name is down there. But I don't know, because you figure even having an agent, and you do it yourself, you're going to get all the money. You still got to give the agent, a little piece of your money. So, and all the contracts are standard. They're pretty much the same thing. Everybody gets this, it's the same writing. So, how much do you really want to give the agent for basically doing nothing?
You think he'll be back? Either way.
Yeah, he'll be there.
I think so too. Very significant part. Obviously, he lost his wide receiver to the Cardinals, so it's going to be an interesting offense. I think the Ravens will do well. They have a good organization. Harbaugh, I think he's walking on thin line or on thin ice a bit. Don't you think?
Well, you think he won a Super Bowl, so I guess maybe, yeah, he might be a little thin ice, because what have you done for me lately? Because they did get rid of Peterson with Philadelphia when he did win a Super Bowl, and they still got rid of him anyway. 2 or 3 years later. So yeah, he might be a little bit.
One thing that I like about the Ravens, they kind of retain their coaches longer. Like Billick was there for a while, and then I'm seeing Harbaugh stinking for a while. So, which is similar to the Steelers organization. They has only had 4 coaches in their whole
50 years. Yeah, last history. Yeah, it's a long time.
Which I like that, because nowadays you see a lot of teams like, hey, if you don't reach the playoffs in 2 years, you're done.
Yeah, I know the Giants, revolving door, 3 coaches the last 5 years. Yeah, I know all about that.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know about the current coach, Coach McDaniel for the Dolphins. I don't know. I don't want to say give him 5 years. I can't say that, because he's still he hasn't made any play calls actually while being a coach in the NFL, being but we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks with McDaniel. Which I heard he's designated a player each week to play the music during practice. I heard
a lot of teams do that, where get to pick the music, because you figure you got the locker room. You're either going to have the hard rock guys, punk rock, or whatever you call it, R&B, rap, or whatever. You got all these different guys battling, at the same time. So yeah, pick one guy, and that guy picks the music for everybody.
Exactly, which I guess it comes to importance at a certain degree. So I don't see that. I mean, I probably don't see that in a Bill Belichick practice. I don't think he might not play music.
He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that wants any kind of craziness, crazy music playing. If anything, probably maybe some Frank Sinatra for him, or some I don't know, Danny Kaye, or some older guy singing for him. I don't think he's the rap kind of guy.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I heard some stories about that. But which, by the way, Mac Jones, I heard he's ripped. He has abs coming into the camp.
Kind of like when Tom Brady. What happened? Look at Tom Brady when he first got the NFL. He had a dad bod. Now all of a sudden, now look at the guy. He's 45 years old. I've never seen him without a shirt on, but I'm sure he's all cut up. And did you watch the golf thing with those guys?
The match? No, I missed it. How was it?
It was interesting, because I realized how small Aaron Rodgers is. He's not the big guy at all, because when you stand next to these other guys, I was like, wow.
How tall do you think he is?
6 foot, maybe 6'1",
Wow.
Because the other guys were, like Tom Brady was bigger than Josh Allen. I thought Josh Allen was huge. And when he was standing next to him, it was like, Tom Brady's bigger than he is. He's taller than he is. I was like, wow, he's a lot bigger than I thought he was.
Yeah, because on TV, I guess you see it like a whole different angle, for a football game. Which, by the way, I heard Tom Brady was joking around with Josh Allen. Oh, you haven't seen a Lombardi trophy, have you? Or something.
It's true, though. I came out there with my ring. I was like, yo, you ever seen one of these?
That's tough to get. That is, I mean, do you think Josh Allen will make it eventually to the Super Bowl?
Yes, he's good. But
I think so.
Just remember, he lost his offensive coordinator with, guess who? The New York Giants, Brian Dable. So we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. That should be a good sign for the Giants, not so much for the Bills.
We'll see. Because we did steal the defensive coordinator from Baltimore is with them, Wink Martindale. That's who. Because he got fired with Baltimore and ended up with the Giants now, so he's a top defensive coordinator. So we'll see.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Anyways, speaking about the Giants, New York Star Giants, Kadarius Toney, aka Young Joker, released his album, another music video today. It is called Play With Me. The video was uploaded on YouTube at noon, and it had a little over 2,000 views. It'd probably be more by now. I'll have to look that up. Tell us about that, Byron.
That's part of the problem this guy's having around here, because like a lot of things I've seen, or people I've talked to, they don't know what his main focus is. Is it football? Or is it his music? I look at it this way. You're in New York. We're the biggest market, in the world. So, if he goes out and he balls out like he's supposed to, on the field, everything else will follow. But he's for some reason, he's doing it all backwards. And then, he's been hurt all the time. He had a history of being hurt in Florida. And he was hurt last year, with the Giants. Now he had to have micro fractures surgery on his knee. So he's pretty much been, and then they had to practically, threaten the guy, to make sure that he showed up for, voluntary mini camp. And he did, eventually got there and been standing on the side, with the red jersey on, the whole while they've been up here.
Now, I got a question on like the red jersey, which I should know this by now. When you put the red jersey, that means you don't have to practice, or what's the deal with that?
That means don't touch me.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. Like football, right?
Oh, no. You pretty much don't even get in there. Like with the quarterback, don't even get in there. He's getting ready to throw the ball, and it looks like you get ready to sack. You just run right past him. Don't touch his arm. Don't touch him. Just run past him.
Which we'll get more into that, because we have another story concerning about red jerseys soon. So the video Young Joker, Play With Me, which actually was released 3 days ago. It has 7.3 thousand views so far on YouTube. I can't play it because typically YouTube will kick us out. So I don't want to play it. But if you go to youtube.com, search Young Joker, Play With Me on YouTube, you should be able to find it, play it. And it's also on 4K. I believe I've heard his teammates like it. So.
Well, I listened to it. I was not a fan of it, so that's not my thing, because it was some questionable stuff that he was saying in there that I don't particularly like. So I'm not gonna bat you up. That's what he wants to do. He's a young guy, knock yourself out. But
which is not so it's not PG-13, right?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was not my cup of tea, and I'm sure it would be your cup of tea either.
No, definitely not. So definitely check it out. I'm trying to figure out who else has become rap artists from the NFL, or like music artists.
They all want to be, come on. Okay, your main focus is to play football. Okay, if you look at Shaq, look how speaking of rap careers, how'd that career go?
It did not do well. I remember that was a short fling.
And he was one of the biggest stars in the world. And he tried to be a rapper, then he tried to be an actor. That didn't work. But these guys need focus on your craft. That's what got you there. Football. If you want to do all this rap stuff or whatever you want to do, go right ahead. But don't make that seem like it's the main focus, or you're trying to push that out, which basically he's trying to do.
I would say Shaq is doing pretty well for AT&T. I mean for TNT. Sorry.
You figure he owns everything, whatever. What was that?
He owns 10%
an insurance company, the General.
Sacramento Kings, I think.
Yeah, and the general insurance company, and there's a bunch of stuff. Everything he put on Krispy Kremes, and Shaq owns everything.
Yeah, he does. He's a very smart business guy, and he's also a cop. So
I met him in Newark one time when he's before, like as soon as when he got to LSU, and I stood right next to him. I was like, you know what, this is a big dude. This was when he was in college. He was big. I was like, wow,
this is one of a kind. You know that Shaq was 50-50 to play basketball and soccer as well. He was a goalkeeper and he thought about playing for soccer, but he chose basketball instead.
Oh, I can see him at the goalie.
He's tall enough. I mean, goalkeepers are tall usually, and they go 6 feet and above. So he would have been good, but basketball turned out well for 4 championships.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So you can listen to Young Joker on YouTube. He's a Giants. Now we know who is musically impaired in the Giants team.
Yeah, the Young Joker.
hopefully his stats do well this upcoming season. So, all right. So we were talking about red jerseys a couple minutes ago, and Kadarius Toney and Thibodeau, the recent draft from Oregon, a little bit banged up. They were both wearing red jerseys today, and sources previously indicated that Thibodeau undisclosed injury isn't considered serious, and the rookie edge rusher did some light running on the side of Thursday's 9th OTA practice. What have you heard about this, Byron?
This is like when they were going through whatever drills they were going through, he got sort of like tangled up, and it, so maybe it could be his ankle, his knee, his back, whatever. But they're saying he got just tangled up in some kind of pile or whatever, and that's pretty much what it. They won't say exactly what it is, but that's what they were saying up here.
Yeah, he's a lot of these players, I mean, especially like the rookies went through, going to the combine and maybe going into a pro day, and it's just strenuous because they're, I mean, like they're not trying to break records or anything, but they're trying to impress teams. Even though Thibodeau has been projected for a while to go in like the top 10 in the draft, but he's a very talented player. And like that night that we had the big show, and I compared him to Lawrence Taylor, and I was like, hold on, let me research on that. And a lot of people were saying the same thing. He does kind of compare it to the refrigerator, right? Not in Byron's term.
That's a little rough there. How does Belichick would say? There's only one Lawrence Taylor. You can't compare, Lawrence Taylor. He's like a different beast, a different animal. All the stuff that he did off the field. He might have been a train wreck off the field, but once he got on the field, there was nothing like. You figure they changed the offenses because of this guy. Lawrence Taylor was the reason why the left tackle is getting paid, because they had to find a guy athletic enough to block this guy.
Incredible. And maybe Thibodeau might be the same, which is a big good thing. If not, it's okay. He's still a great, talented player. Kadarius Toney as well, a little banged up. What if is this serious, or is this just
he's some kind of like knee surgery, or like a microfracture or something like they were talking about that he had on his knee. And that for a receiver, that's like a long-term kind of thing. Might have to get cleaned out every year, kind of thing. And him being get it in and out of his break. So hopefully by camp, he'll be okay. But the other kid that they drafted, Wan'Dale Robinson, I think from Kentucky, the 3rd round pick, I think he was. Mm-hmm. That he's been doing well too. He's a small receiver, he's like 5'8". So if Shepard can't do his thing, and if Toney can't do his thing, then they got the 3rd guy that'll hopefully work out. But we'll see about Toney. The book is still open with him.
Hey, it's a music video. That's what's happening. So yeah, Wan'Dale Robinson, as Byron said, played football at Nebraska and Kentucky. And Kentucky. So interesting. Good pickup by the Giants. I believe it was a good pickup Brian Dabble, what have you heard? Is he tough on like really tough in practice? Like, what have you heard lately?
No, they sit there. They said they like the guy. That he's real personable. Talks to everybody. And he went to a Rangers game. With Thibodeau up here. When, like the last series they did, both of them were at the game because he said he had never been to a Ranger game. So I guess they gave tickets, and he went to the game. But they say he's real personable. But people also forget. Remember, he was at what big school? Alabama. He was the OC there, left there to go to Buffalo, and in Buffalo, he ended up there. But everything they're talking about, they like him. They like Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator. With some of the blitz heavy. They're going to blitz the daylights out of people. As soon as they step off the bus, they're going to be blitzers. So it's pretty exciting. A lot of the people I've talked to up here, they're pretty excited about what's going on.
So I mean, on paper, you would think like the team has a good coaching staff.
Yes,
that's what it seems like.
But the X factor is, guess who? Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones, yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. It kind like he's kind of reminding me of Ryan Tannehill for some reason.
He's worse.
Yeah.
Sad to say. That's my guy, man. I'm gonna stick with him till the bitter end, but yeah, he's worse.
And he's also he has a bad neck.
Allegedly,
that's right. That's all rumors. Hearsay.
I don't know if it's been cleared yet. They haven't mentioned that yet, as far as with contact. So we'll know in another month or so, if he's cleared for contact. If he's not cleared for contact in July, it's going to be very interesting. The other good thing is that Mike Kafka, he's a quarterback coach, and he used to be a coach with Kansas City, and he was a quarterback. He played here in Philly. That him and Patrick Mahomes have been helping out Daniel Jones as far as the different offenses. This looks good. This looks good. This good. I think Davis Webb, the third team quarterback that they have for the Giants, was with Kansas City, I think, too. He's with Buffalo. He was with Buffalo, and he has a hook with a Dable up there because you figure he was used to the system. So at least they have guys that are willing to work with Daniel Jones. So hopefully he'll be fine this year.
Not bad quarterback camp to go to.
Patrick Mahomes, hey, nothing but the best.
Hey, I'll take it anytime. And of course, QB2 for the Giants is Tyrod Taylor. So good backup, I think. So if anything happens, the Giants have a insurance policy. So we'll
put it this way: if Tyrod Taylor is playing at any point in time this year, Daniel Jones won't be there next year, and we'll be draft night. We'll be sitting there hoping for another quarterback.
Yeah,
looking for one.
Yeah, like I said, these things are got a couple years. If you're not producing, not showing what we want to see, we're going to look elsewhere, like the Browns did with Baker. So, which is another story. I don't know if we're going to touch on that, but maybe a little bit later in the show and see your thoughts on that because it's getting crazy up in Cleveland, as usual, right? Evan Neal, Alabama draftee to the Giants. So one teammate, Mark Glowinski, was asked about his first impression, and he said, "Yeah, he's looking great." He put it into one word, just dominant. As long as he gets his hands on guys, that's the end of the story. So just make sure that we put him in the right place. Make sure that he's doing the right things. He has more. He's come along drastically every day, learning more and more. So a big force to the Giants. That's a plus right there, right, Byron?
You figure he's an Alabama guy. He was coached up as from his freshman. He played left tackle, right tackle, guard position. He's big as a house. And he can move. For a guy that size, and as long as they keep coaching him up, and as long as he's willing to learn and just be humble and do his thing. Because you figure a guy that size, if he gets your hands on you, and you're going to start going backward. I don't care who it is in front of him. They're all all of 350 pounds or 340 pounds or whatever he is. And that's a lot of man to go forward and start pushing you backwards.
Who do you think will do well in the rookie season, Neal or Thibodeau?
Neal.
I think it's a safe pick. Neal started all 13 games at left guard during his freshman year in 2019 before moving to right tackle in 2020. He was starting member of the team that won the 2021 College Football National Championship. Following the 2021 season, Neal announced that he would forego his senior year and enter the 22 NFL draft. So very positive things, very focused, what I heard as well.
Played a lot of football at Alabama.
Yeah. And like I said, he's ready to go. He's ready to go on day one, week one, and we'll see how it goes. This Giants team, every time I read it, is like the whole team's great, but Daniel Jones is the X factor.
Yeah, that's my guy. He's gonna be a star. He's gonna be a star. I'm gonna keep it up.
Yeah. Someone else said that a X factor for a basketball player, but I forgot who he was. It might have been Luka or something. Luka Doncic. Who knows? All right. Well, yeah. So the Giants definitely OTAs. OTAs is optional, right? Usually, is that how it goes?
It's optional, but it's better if you're, there. If you have a new coaching staff, it's better if you're there because
they have present.
They have like the voluntary one now, and then they have the one I think it's next week when the mandatory one when everybody's supposed to show up. Veterans, everybody.
I remember one time Tom Brady, I think it was like his last year with the Patriots, he didn't show up to the OTAs, so there was like a lot of eyebrow, like a lot of people raising their eyes on that, and it was very indicative that he was going to leave.
But how many rings did he have up to that? I think he had like 6 then.
6 then, yeah.
It didn't matter if he showed up or not.
Exactly. So
they're not going to pull off the bus without him on it.
Yeah. Obviously, we got to wait. See what happens with Lamar Jackson. Of course, he's the star quarterback at Baltimore, and I think doesn't he want that contract like Deshaun Watson? That's what he's kind of
$230 million guaranteed.
Oh my gosh.
Oof.
But let's touch up on that. This week, a 23rd woman came up. She was influenced by this HBO special of Deshaun, and she came out and said, I guess she was effective. I mean, she was a victim from him or something. I don't know what's going to happen. This is not a good position for the Browns. The NFL is still investigating. They're still in the process. I believe they'll have an answer in June, I heard. I guess what Goodell said. Byron, things are looking bleak. What do you think?
I don't, I don't understand. I'm not gonna, 23, is a lot of lawsuits. I was in law enforcement a long time. And usually, you have, 1 or 2, and, that's pretty bad. But when you got 23 and then, they turn around and they gave him this big giant contract, not knowing if he's going to play it the whole year. Is he going to get suspended? I'm not going to, if he did it, he's a bad guy. If he didn't do it and, you got 23 people saying that he did whatever he did is kind of it's a weird position to be in.
Very, very weird position. And he said it several times. He had a press conference about a month or 2 months ago, said he didn't do it. He's innocent. So we'll see what happens. NFL's investigating. The Browns had their private investigators, so they were pretty certain from the results. So we'll see. We just don't know what we don't know.
But it's just weird, that, all these people, all these women have come out, and said what they did, but then, you sit with him, he's got all this money, even before he got this, guaranteed money, he's got all this money. Why would you have 23 different or 25 or how many the number masseuse or, massage therapist or whatever? You could just hire one, pay her $1 million, whatever, you can try, or a guy or whatever, just travel around with me. I need you. I need you. Not you're going to have all these different ones and, go on the internet and, whatever he was doing. It's just the whole thing is just weird.
Yeah. When you're a celebrity, you got to be careful with these type of things. Sports athletes, hopefully have somebody in the team. Hey guys, do not, just have one massage therapist, that's it. Don't go to 40 of them, whatever it was. Just gotta be careful because when you have money, you're a target, and they'll try to get a way to find trying to get a piece of that money or a piece of that pie. So we'll see what happens. Baker Mayfield, I guess I don't know what he's thinking right now.
What can he, I think his guaranteed money is like $19 million, against the cap with him. They wouldn't trade him. I think he had shoulder surgery. I think his left shoulder or something. So, but, trading the guy, other teams wouldn't know, like, because I'm sure, the Carolina Panthers could have used them. The Houston Texans could have used them. Seattle could have used, it's 3 teams right there that could have used this guy. But, for either they're not ready to trade him because they want to see what's going on with this guy. And if I was Baker Mayfield, you just paid him all this money. All right, well, he's suspended now, but, okay, now, so you're going to keep me around for, 6 games or a year or whatever. And then, you're going to kick me out the door because you have this guy. I would be like, you know what? I'd milk that shoulder as long as I could.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, what develops in Cleveland. Obviously, Browns have said explicitly they will not be trading Baker. So no matter what Baker Mayfield, whatever podcast he goes and how his dog sleeps in the background, he's staying in Cleveland.
Which is feel like they were talking about Cleveland, how they're loaded. You figure they got Myles Garrett, they're loaded. They Clowney, they have good linebackers. They have probably one of the best corners, Denzel Ward, one of the best corners in all of football. They have 2 good safeties. They're loaded on defense. Offense, they got 2 good running backs. They probably have a top 5 offensive line. The only thing on that whole team that's shaky is the wide receivers. That's the only thing that's kind of, even though they did get, Amari Cooper, but yeah, Amari Cooper and who else?
Yeah, exactly. And of course they still have the Joku. So
yeah, they just signed him to all that money.
Yeah, great tight end. So we'll see what happens. Cleveland has on paper they could win the AFC North. Seriously.
Yes, they could.
But
they still have to deal with the Sean debacle, for either 6 games or a whole year. And they proved that they're not going to prove anything. But with the 23, he's going to get at least either 6 or 8 games. He's going to get a hunk of wood.
Yeah,
it's got to happen.
Yeah, you think what's the worst case scenario? Suspended 6 games or the whole season?
I would say the whole season. If I was a commissioner, whole season.
Yeah, we'll see what NFL does. NFL's been, some decisions have been iffy with, and I know with the Patriots, like that, which is like the one thing that I really always remember is the Tom Brady and their Deflategate, and one of the reasons they gave him 6 games because they didn't feel they gave them a harder punishment with the Spygate, so they had to weigh their options.
Yeah,
it's tough to be.
And then people talk like with the NFL, they're investigating. You figure with the NFL, they got retired FBI guys, Secret Service guys, probably marshals, probably every law enforcement. So you mean to tell me with all these guys that have probably hooks all over the country, you mean to tell me they couldn't figure it out, well, hey, this guy's doing X, Y, Z. And even, on the down, like, hey, this guy's doing X, Y, no. Why? And all we're investigating. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like the red flag is when Tom Brady he erased his phone or he or
threw the
garbage. And then like 2 years ago, the Patriots did a video incident. I think they spied on another team. I think it was the Browns or something. Yeah. It's really odd. It's a real odd organization, but they kept it. I mean, of course, anyone could keep it within there, but it's weird. Anyways, other news today: the Jets they announced the Ring of Honor. They added Revis, Mangold, and Ferguson. They're all Revis as Revis Island, incredible cornerback, one of the best. The Brickshaw Ferguson and Nick Mangold. They'll be celebrated on different dates, I believe. The ceremonies will take place at halftime of 3 separate games at MetLife Stadium, as Mangold will be honored against the Bengals on September 25th. Ferguson will be celebrated against the Patriots on October 30th, and Revis will take place in the ROH against the Bears on November 20th. Your thoughts, and were they worthy to be in the Ring of Honor?
Yes, because I think Mangold and Ferguson were drafted, I think, pretty much the same year.
Right. Yeah, that's what I've been told.
And Ferguson was a great left tackle for years. With that, he was a top five tackle. Mangold, same thing, top five. Center. With them. Both of them. They were the mainstay. For that offensive line. They didn't win anything, but both of them. They had great careers. And then you got Revis Island. He was just. He would just shut down the whole one side of the field and do his thing. But then you figure later on in his career, that's when he started chasing a ring and went to this team and he started bouncing around a little bit. But he was great for a long time. With the Jets and matter of fact his whole career. But all three of them are great players and deserve to be in the Jets Ring of Honor, even though it's still Giant Stadium though. But,
I know. I think it is Giants. Yeah, Revis. I remember when he left the Jets, the Bucks actually, but then he was slowing down. Like once he went to the Bucks, it wasn't like the Revis Islands of old, and yeah, he was drafted in 07, and the other guys in 06, so they were right after each other. So yeah, congratulations. Ring of Honor is a specialty. It's not every player that plays for a team gets into that Ring of Honor. Nope. It's like a Hall of Fame, but it's quite an honor because hey, the Jets have great history, with great football players and of course they were under Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
The great Rex Ryan.
The great Rex. The only thing,
that was a good team.
Yes, they very good. They were right in the brink. Even I think Sanchez was the quarterback then. The butt fumble and all the other stuff. And he didn't know. So, yeah, they were close.
And they beat the Patriots in one playoff game, and then they made it to the AFC Championship game. Mm-hmm. But they lost against, I think, Pittsburgh, I believe. So.
The only thing about with the whole Ring of Honor with the Jets thing, because usually when you put your name up on the stadium, it stays there all the time. But because the Giants Stadium, they take it down and then they put the other guy's stuff up. So when the Jets are there, they put theirs up. When the Giants are there, they put theirs up. So that's the only thing weird about it.
Not enough reason to build their own stadium, right?
Stadiums are kind of expensive.
I know. I remember one time they were planning to build in New York at Camden Yards. They were really considering it, but it just never came into shape. So, but it is what it is. They'll share a Giant Stadium for as long as they
pay their bill.
Exactly. They're a tenant.
Yeah, they're a tenant. Just pay your bill. Pay your bill and you'll be all right.
All right. Another sad news last night. Mr. Tyler Turner broke it to me yesterday. Marion Barber III, ex-Cowboys player, died last night. He was found dead in his apartment in Texas last night. It was unknown. I've heard he had some mental issues going on, but fantastic player. Your thoughts on that, Mr. Byron?
Yeah, he was a great running back. I think he played at University of Minnesota. I think it's the Minnesota Gopher, I think.
Yes, Minnesota Golden Gophers. Yeah. And got drafted in 05.
Yeah, he was a great player. I think he went to a Pro Bowl, one of them, 207.
Right.
Yeah. And
2007.
I remember him running hard. He always he ran like Marshawn Lynch. That's who he ran like.
Wow. Beast mode.
Yeah, he was a beast. He was a beast just like this guy. He just ran hard, but the only thing I remember him always running, he would always lead with his head. He always, when he was running, he would always bash somebody with his head. And somebody, I was listening to the Sirius Radio, and they brought that up. Somebody brought that up. They're sitting there saying that, maybe, I'm not spreading anything. Once they do the autopsy, they'll know, what happened. Maybe it was CTE. CTE. As far as he had a problem. Maybe they'll see that he did. Because they said even Desmond Bryant was sitting there saying that, he was doing bad. He was kind of, down and out. And he just had issues, through the years, and maybe, just his running style and, being a running back and, all the punishment, it took. But, it's sad that, he's a 38-year-old man, gone way too early because of, whatever, issues, he may have had, he probably had a family, whatever, my condolences to the family, but, it's just awful, that, playing football and these guys, they don't know, you're not going to find out and realize, with the CTE thing until you're gone. And it's too late then.
Yeah, and I believe the first indicator is when the neighbor from downstairs was seeing water leak, and he was wondering, "Hey, what's going on?" So they called the police and found him dead. So it's quite a tragic story. His nickname was Marion the Barbarian.
Yeah, sure. Well, he's good. He's very good. He went to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, league leader in breaking tackles, and his personal mantra of "hit or get hit."
Yep.
I love that. That's motivating.
The original beast mode.
Yeah, exactly. I did not know that. Condolences to his family. Hopefully, they'll find some answers. But may he rest in peace. Another big story today: Frank Gore officially retires as a San Francisco 49er, third leading rusher in the NFL history. Frank Gore from Miami, I believe. Fantastic player, one of the best. I mean, he played till I think his late 30s. Tell me your best memory of Frank Gore.
He ran hard all the time. All the time. You figure he had those, I think he had 2 knee injuries at University of Miami. I think I heard there. University of Miami, and for him to come back from 2 ACLs or whatever, 2 knee operations, you figured, might as well say, as long as he played way back in the day, where they're not as, high tech and sophisticated as they are now, getting these guys back. But, he came back from that and he had a great career. What did he rush for? 14,000 yards or whatever, he ran for. And he just, he did his thing for a long time.
16,000 yards.
That's a lot of running back. That's a lot of yards.
He was only third behind Emmitt Smith and Walter Payton.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's a great career. Great, long, lot of teams. And, get to retire as a 49er where he started is great for him.
Yeah, 5-time Pro Bowl. Congratulations for the retirement. Signed as a Niner. So he's always going to be Niner. That's his home team, which I'm glad. Sometimes you don't know when these players play for 5 different teams, you don't know who they're really loyal to, but it sounds like the Niners, which he played there from 05 to 14, then the Colts, then the Dolphins in 18, then the Bills, then the Jets. I think he has like 6 kids, right, or something?
I think one of them's playing too somewhere.
I remember that. Yeah. That's awesome. And it's funny because I listened to a podcast with him and Adam Schefter. Oh my gosh, it was very, very motivating, and he's like so focused. Like, yeah, man, I'm so focused on the game. That's it.
But is he a Hall of Fame running back?
That's a good question. I'll let you answer that, Byron.
Yes, for longevity and for doing this thing, as long as he did it and put up all those yards, yes, he maybe not first ballot, but he should get in.
Yeah. His son is Frank Gore, born in 2002. And then Gore Jr. Gore Jr. So yeah. Hall of Fame. I think so. If he's third behind Emmett Walter, I think he should be in the running for it. I would do it. I would vote for it. So, but yeah, the great Frank.
Let me throw another name at you then, just while we're on that. Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson.
Oh yeah, for sure. Adrian Peterson for sure. I mean, wasn't he MVP one year?
1 year, but then he rushed for 2,000 yards, almost broke the record. Yeah, but the only thing with him, because of his past, that situation, that he had, that might hold him out a little bit. He might get it eventually, but the voters are kind of funny with stuff like that.
Oh, really? I had no idea. The personal life comes in a little bit.
Yeah, they get. Yeah, they say they don't, but yeah,
it's weighted.
They throw it in there.
Yeah, I know he surpassed the Ram running back. I forgot his name.
But Dickerson,
yeah, he was good. He passed his record. So, but yeah, Adrian Peterson. Yeah, like Byron says, you just don't know. Some people say Zach Thomas should be in it. I don't know. So,
well, put it this way: Zach Thomas should be in now because my guy Sam Mills got in. Zach Thomas was good for a long time. With Miami and then with Dallas. He had a great career for a long time. But I wanted my guy to get it first, which is Sam Mills. because of, the things that, the things that he did, as far as, coming from, Long Branch High School, Montclair State University, getting cut, by the Cleveland Browns, at first, then finally making it with the Philadelphia Stars, was a dominant player in Philadelphia, then went to New Orleans with the Dome Patrol or whatever they call those guys down there. And then, ended up with the Carolina Panthers, at 38 years old, still, made a Pro Bowl, whatever back then. And then finally, he would have been a head coach too one day, Sam.
Really?
Without a doubt. He was a linebacker coach. I bet money he would have been a coach if he had to pass away, such a young age. But I'm happy that he's going into the Hall of Fame. He's a New Jersey guy. But now Zach Thomas can go in.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was Jimmy Johnson that brought it up during his speech. He said, yeah, Zach Thomas should be in it or whatever, which I agree because I'm a Dolphin fan and I don't see why not. But obviously, there's a lot of factors go into it,
Yes.
The stats and everything else. So you get to wear the gold jacket, right? It's a gold or green?
Gold jacket.
It's gold jacket. Okay.
Might as well. Since I'm on a roll now, you have another Jersey guy that should be in the Hall of Fame, but probably would never get in because, Jim Jeffcoat played with the Dallas Cowboys. He had over 100 sacks in his career. He was a dominant player for a long time, but because he was Jim Jeffcoat and, played for the Dallas Cowboys, and I think he played for Buffalo Bills. So he's another guy that should be in the Hall of Fame, but probably would never get in there.
Interesting. Yeah, Jim Jeffcoat, former. He recently he's now an assistant football coach for the XFL, the Renegades, Dallas Renegades.
Yep. Another New Jersey guy, Mattawa, New Jersey.
From Long Branch. That's from your town, from your area.
Oh, he's from Mattawa. He's from.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Same area.
That's right. Reading his Wikipedia, so I'm learning on the go. Yeah, play for the Cowboys and Bills. Yep. Is it me or is like playing for the Cowboys like, well, I mean, I'm like the cool guy, I play for the Cowboys.
Yeah, when you figure the Cowboys are a team that everybody, got to watch on TV because you figure back in the day, we had up here we had channel 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11. So every week on CBS, what do you have on? The Dallas Cowboys, or maybe a Giant game every now and then, but every week, somehow the Dallas Cowboys were shown, up here in New York. When I was going through the whole process, I went down there. I met Tom Landry and, what was that? Ed 212 Jones was down there. I went Randy White, when I went for my visit. And I was like, man, when I went to it was a place in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the city, where you go for, the physical, the interview and all this other stuff. And it was like, man, this place is looking like, man, this is a raggedy place. Look at this raggedy gym. I was like, but it's still the Dallas Cowboys. I was just happy being there to get to talk to these guys.
Yeah. And Dallas Cowboys is actually the number one most revenue team in the world globally. Like they make the most money compared to the Yankees, Manchester United. I mean, they're number one. And yeah, like, we were saying, being a Cowboy is different. It's like the Lakers or the Yankees. It's just a special feel to it, special touch. It's legendary teams. Hopefully the Lakers will come back to that honor again, which, I mean, they won a championship 2 years ago or 3, but hopefully come back into that limbo again. Speaking about basketball, Byron, finals NBA tonight, championship, the world championship game for the NBA, Celtics at Warriors. Who do you think will win the series? And who will take game 1?
Man, Golden State first game.
I think so too. And who will win the series?
Oh man, that's hard. I want to lean toward Golden State because I got a good friend, that goes to the games, and I was in the military with this guy, so he's like a Golden State, big time Golden State fan. But I gotta go with the Boston Celtics because of their Boston Celtic history. I'm gonna go with Boston.
All right, so Golden State wins game 1, but Boston will win the series.
Yes.
So that sounds fair enough. Everyone's picking Golden State, so you might be the only guy.
The only guy. I got to be different.
like Victor. Anyways, I got Golden State in 6, maybe less. I don't think they'll go all the way to 7 games, but I've seen some odd things in the world, so that could happen.
Boston in 6.
Boston in 6. There you go. To win it, yeah, it's very possible. Anyways, So tell us the Gary Sinise. This is part of the show where we start closing, and tell us about the Gary Sinise Foundation.
Here we go. Talk about this every week, last couple of years, and here we go. Freedom and security are precious gifts that we as Americans should never take for granted. We must do all we can to extend our hand in times of need to those who willingly sacrifice each day to provide that freedom and security. While we can never do enough to show gratitude to our nation defenders, we can always do a little more. The Gary Sinise Foundation. Dig deep in your pockets and give to the Gary Sinise Foundation.
There you go, Gary Sinise. I saw this commercial a couple months ago. So, wait, that's the stuff Victor's talking about and Byron talking about. And we speaking about Victor, he's joining us all the way from the Big Apple, New York City. He's on assignment, so he's not there for vacation or anything.
He's on vacation. Don't let him fool.
Okay, he's sightseeing or he's window shopping, whatever that means. But we got Victor Rocho on the line. Welcome to the Jersey Boys, your show on a Thursday night.
Why did you send out why did you say I was in Restream waiting for you?
Oh, well, we switched to Zoom because Byron had some technical issues.
For Byron's sake, I was kind of impressed.
No. We have all the range, all the craziness going up here, and the computer went crazy. So
yeah, okay, yeah. That's what it is. Okay, that's fine. I figured I was trying to join her up, but I was waiting for like 10 minutes.
Are you making excuses now?
Nah. By the way, speaking of the rain, I'm not in New York. I couldn't go.
No way.
Dude, they still got my luggage. So
what happened?
12 days. So they got my luggage for 12 days at American Airlines. It's been a disaster. I was in the airport for 6 hours, canceled it. And you talk the rain there, it's storming here.
So when do you think you'll depart?
I'm not. I got canceled everything. My refund. I got all my refunds. So I'm just not going. But so
how do you feel about that?
Actually, a little bit more relieved. It's just not relieved that the luggage part's been into that. But anyhow, where are we at? I don't want to interrupt the show.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, so we're going towards the ending. Byron says Celtics will win in 6. What is your prediction?
That's funny. That's just funny.
Finals World Championship.
That's funny. Byron, well, because he probably knows I like the Warriors.
There you go. I always go the opposite.
Whatever I like, you're crazy, man. They ain't gonna have a chance. They don't even have a chance. I don't think. First of all, I think the Warriors will win in 6, if not less. I don't think it's going to go 7. I just don't think. The Heat. The Heat what? First of all, the Heat could have beat them. Number one. Number two.
Coulda, shoulda, didn't.
Okay, time out. Yeah, you're right. But I'll be honest with you, though. I'd rather, as much as I'm a Heat fan, I would rather see the Celtics play the Warriors because I just didn't like the way the Heat were playing. They were just
what happened with the Heat in Game 7? What were your thoughts? Was it that Butler shot?
Basketball. I mean, I personally, there's two sides to it. I didn't like Jimmy taking that 3-point shot. He's not a 3-point shooter. He was hitting them though, but he's still not a 3-point shooter. He could have taken it to the hole and tied the game. Then the argument was that, he played the whole game. He didn't want to go any extra minutes. Well, he didn't. He went home. So
should have, didn't, lost. They sitting at home just like you.
Yeah, and I'm actually really at home instead of New York.
It was not meant to be.
Yeah, I think the Warriors they're champion. I think the how basketball is. Everybody's got to earn their keep making those hurdles. So Boston made their hurdle to get to the finals. They finally got to the finals, right? But I just think that's that step. But they're not going to pass this step. It's just no different than, Bird, Magic, Detroit, Chicago. Everybody's got to earn their way through. And I don't think the Celtics.
Celtics is 6.
Yeah. You'll be denying, deflecting.
Of course I will.
Yeah. Ain't gonna happen.
And let me go back to what Victor said. I think the problem with the Heat was the injuries and the health. I think it wasn't all there, and that affected them. Butler had a good series. He was putting up Michael Jordan numbers, but it was not sufficient. And the decision making to make that 3-point wasn't smart. But yeah, I mean, we were behind a lot in Game 7, so it was playing out of catch up. So
Yeah, you know, this just wasn't that wasn't the team we saw all year. Like that's the bottom line, you know. So, but anyhow, let's move on. We lost, and but I mean, like I said to you, when we watched the game, you know, even if we would have won that game, I still prefer to see Boston play because I thought when Boston was playing well, they were doing. Brian, you got to admit, because I know you're not a big basketball fan, particularly because the way the game is played, which I don't blame you. You know, the game has been played for years, which was like pretty much one-on-one, you know, James Harden type basketball. Would you agree with that?
With me or Byron?
Byron.
Like, Byron.
Yes, Byron.
Oh, you're on mute, Byron.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
And but what I'm liking, I see today, like, watch Boston, you know, like I was getting upset with some of those jacked up threes that the Heat were doing. But if you watch in Boston, Warriors are guaranteed. They got the most assists in the league, and they got the most ball turns around the most. When Boston starts moving that ball around, count how many passes, Byron, they're doing 4 or 5 passes, you know, that's not basketball I like. And then when you're doing, that's why I like college girl. I always said it, college women's basketball, because they play team basketball. We talked about it. But, you know, when you're passing that ball around like that, and you got that many good players, basketball becomes really fun because it's moving, right? You don't know who's going to go to. And I've been enjoying it for the last couple of years, or at least the few teams that are doing it that way, right? Boston, count how many times Boston passes the ball. Like your Warriors pass the ball a ton, you know, unless Curry wants to take over. But outside of that, you know, I think that Boston, if they play well, they're a good matchup for the Warriors. I don't think they can beat them.
Yeah, it's the first time, you know, Warriors have more experience at this level of basketball. We were talking about it on Monday with Ryan. Maybe, you know, Boston might play that Toronto role, but no, because Kawhi had that finals experience already. So Tatum, we don't know what Tatum's all about yet. We don't know how far he can go, how much, how far he can reach. Is he going to sit in that table with the greats? We don't know. Still young, but Stephen Curry is. I can tell you that.
And Klay Thompson, no joke either, man. I mean,
him too.
Jason, Pool's no joke. Draymond runs the show there.
Wiggs.
Kerr is a great coach.
Six, Boston. Let it go, man.
Looney is playing some crazy basketball, right? Because they got to come out and defend the three. I mean, you should be happy for the Warriors. Their big man is putting up points.
Big man it is.
Boston, man. The Celtics. Go with green. Go green.
Yeah, that's right. You're a Philly fan. I forgot.
Oh, let's not start that again.
Loss against the Heat. Anyways, we're gonna wrap up the show. Victor, any closing words before we
I wanted to share with Byron that I was trying to figure out to go and see you, but that I had to check. I gotta call my client, tell him I can't go. But I wanted to share real quick. Santiago and I went to go see Game 6 together at one of the places around here in Florida, in Pembroke Pines. And we had a good time, man. I mean, it was crazy, a little sketchy, but then it got better. But it was almost like you were in the stadium. People were like chanting.
They were doing stadium chants, Byron.
Yeah, all those transplanted fans from other places that, you know, are not from there and everything.
Pretty much.
No, you got a lot of he got some. Yeah.
We met one former Laker fan.
Places, correct, but there's legitimate like Heat fans. Like Dwayne Wade changed the fans in Florida.
That's true.
I'm telling you right now. I mean, it's legitimate Heat fans. They're not just, you know, the Heat fan. You know, first of all, you know how I feel about South Florida fans. No offense, even though I live down there, I don't think they're. I'm not that impressed with them being good fans, and I'm not.
You're one of them. Let it go, man.
Colleges.
You're one of them.
I am not. I know the game.
You're one of them.
Oh, please. I don't know how many hats I have. You want to see all the champions? Hey, where's my picture? Do I got it here? Shoot, I was in the picture in the NBA Finals. I was
in the frame.
I'm in the frame, dog.
One of them.
Parting words.
Byron, he was telling that story to everyone at the restaurant, by the way.
We lost.
What about him being one of the ones?
We lost another NFL player, man. A kid from Minnesota, and then Barber from Dallas. Pat
Marion the Barbarian.
Yeah.
That's
the other kid, Gladney, the one that was in the car accident.
That was 20
from the Vikings
from Minnesota, no?
Yeah.
25 to 27 years old.
So, shout out, to their families and prayers to their families. It breaks my heart with all that stuff.
Yeah, with a lot of deaths, with like Dwayne Haskins, one of them as well. So it's been a tough off season, to be honest.
Tough off season. These are all young kids. And, they'll make more of Deshaun Watson stuff than these kids dying, and that's just terrible. I hope, I feel bad for their family. So that I just wanted to make that comment. Looking forward to the season. But again, Warriors are going to spank them tonight.
Yeah. Which, by the way, the Giants OTAs are looking good. Positive thoughts. And I think the X Factor is still Daniel Jones, right, Byron?
Daniel Jones. Daniel's going to be a star.
Yeah, I heard Baker Mayfield. By the way, did you see this report? Gronk is going to sign.
I had not heard that. Interesting.
Yeah, Gronk's going to sign.
Did you hear from TMZ?
I got great Brady on speed dial. Y'all know that.
Rob Gronkowski still on the holding pattern. We'll see what happens. Byron Jones, any closing words, and what is the best way to reach you?
Sitting right here at Byron Jones 1 on Twitter thing, which I never go on anyway. Facebook, I'm all over Facebook.
Yeah, just come to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. That's how you're going to reach Byron.
Well, that pretty much, don't call me the cell phone because I'm not answering the phone.
Don't even give a cell phone.
Byron, remember when Victor tried to call us during the Super Bowl?
What?
Remember when Victor tried to call us during the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Victor was butt dialing us. So, anyways, Victor, what is the best way to reach you online to find out about Victor?
Go to VictorArocho.com, my name.com, and my Twitter is at VAROCHO at VAROCHO, and then every Thursday on Jersey Boys Sports Talk. But VictorArocho.com, we talk a lot about it, a lot about insurance and being able to utilize your money twice in infinite banking. So those of you that want to really leverage your every earned dollar you earn, I would come to my website and start learning, getting some knowledge.
There you have it. VictorArocho.com. You can reach us at thesportscast.net, our website, or the Sportscast1 on Twitter. Tomorrow, we got Erwin Dudley to recap game 1. Tonight, let's see what happens and see what this, because usually game 1, typically you can foreshadow what's going to happen throughout the series. So pretty excited. The Warriors are back, but this time they're not. This time they're not in the Oracle. They're at the Chase Arena. So it'll be different venue, but the same energy is still there from the team.
Anyways, Celtics.
Why Chase Arena? Is that like new name?
In San Francisco. No, they built a new stadium in San Francisco. Their old stadium was in Oakland. Which was called the Oracle.
This is the Golden State's brand new stadium.
Brand new stadium, which they debuted it about a year or 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. So
go Celtics.
Go Celtics.
They're gonna light it up. They're gonna light it up. Clay, Clay Thompson. I'm rooting for Clay coming off of that injury.
Okay.
Santiago Leon here for Jersey Boys. Victor Arocho, Byron Jones. We'll see you guys next week, next Thursday.
Peace.
Tomorrow, check the update, 12 p.m. God bless. And this was your Jersey Boy.